When I was revising for exams about 20 years ago, the first thing I did was try and hack the revision process. And one thing I did was use a tape recorder. Back then, I'll show it how long ago it was. And I used to record my own voice and I record the kind of subject area and just play it over and over again. And I got to that point, I'm better now, I've done these vlogs, get used to your own voice. And I was talking, the very first one I did was talk about the fire triangle. So let's go back a little bit and talk about the fire triangle. So the fire triangle, to put out the fire, you need to get rid of one of three things. So you need that fuel source. So on the beach like today, you get some driftwood. You need oxygen, obviously, and you need that spark or ignition. Now take one of those away and you haven't got fire. Same is true in terms of flow. So you know that flow is one of my favorite F words. It's not my favorite because you'll have to know what my daughter's name is to really know the truth behind that one. Fire is another great one. Fire is a great way to get in flow because actually it's about that, primordial around the fire, that beautiful light, those stories, etc. So on my little canvas, going back 20 years, here I am with my own flow triangle, I suppose, not necessarily the fire triangle. And I've talked about it before, but I just point how they all come together in the same way, that metaphor of lighting a fire. You've got that psychology, that mindset. The P at the top is one part of it, and of course that's the whole body, and there's a lot more research coming out about the gut and intuition. So it's not just the head stuff, it's the heart stuff, the whole body. So that's an important ingredient in this case for the triangle around flow. The next one is around the environment, which is that physical environment. And I come down here, it's easy. This is Red Bull for flow. You're coming down in nature, and although I would put it in brackets, I don't drink Red Bull, but you get the point. And the other part to it is that social experience as well. So the energy of the group around you. So those are the three parts to it. You've got that physical, psychological, emotional that you bring. You literally bring that to the triangle. Then you're in a place, whether it's a virtual place, whether it's a physical place, and then sometimes, of course, you're with people. Now the bit in the middle, the C bit in the middle here, is about that creativity. And that's almost like the spark. Then you've got the ignition, because when you put all those together, then you're an ability to create. Now, many people talk about, well, I'm not creative in terms of what I do. What I do is quite stable. In fact, I have to be quite stable in what I do. Let's take some financial accounting, for example. It's not about necessarily being creative, although I would add that you probably start being stable and then look to be dynamic and flexible. But we all create. We go into work, we cook in the kitchen. It's just creation. It's not necessarily what we might term creativity as such, coming up with that name, that phrase, or painting or art or anything like that. But we're in this world to create a memory, create a value, create a story, whatever it might be. And those are the three ways to get there. So we can't jump straight to that creativity. We know that. So it's about that psychology. It's about that ability to harness that environment around you and engineer that environment around you. And it's also about that social group environment, if appropriate, because you can shortcut that one, because you can find creativity without the group, obviously, but very often it's about the group. And then you get to the C, then you get to create. So there you go. There's the flow triangle, taken from the fire triangle that I taped, certainly about 20 years ago in the school, just about a mile and a half that way.